a couple tanks to that bottom right base to take it out as well. And what is he doing? He's got his vultures staying behind. He needs to keep them with his tanks. The tanks going to that natural expansion. This is do or die, and Jangbi has a nice recall going on here, but I don't think it's going to be enough to actually kill off sKyHigh. So in an elimination race, sKyHigh, I did not realize that sKyHigh had gotten so many units put together. Jesus Christ, he has a huge army right now, and Jangbi, I don't think he's going to be able to hold that off. He's going to stasis a good clump. Wow, stasis is a lot of tanks. Actually, stasis is a ton of tanks. And here he comes in from the other side, so he doesn't have a stasis wall in the way. Zealot's coming in the front. He's only got a few tanks left. He's coming in from the other side as well. If he can take out this forces, he's going to win the game. But it's got a ton of units there, a ton of vultures in the mix. But the Dragoons are coming in. He's got a bunch of units coming from the other side as well. He may be able to take this out. After all, if he can clean up those vultures, he's going to be able to kill off those tanks when they wake up from stasis. He needs to kill that one tank that's going on in the middle of those stasis units, but a ton of units are there. sKyHigh just having a huge army, but it looks like Jangbi may break it. He may break it. He is going to break that army. He is going to break that push. He's going to break it, and that was absolutely epic. Clutch stasis. Those stasis just saved the game for Jangbi, and a bunch of units waking up at the same time, but without the reinforcements that are now dead. They are going to get taken out very quickly. That clump of tanks is going to die to those, and he sieges up for some reason. That was kind of a silly siege. With Zealots surrounding him, that wasn't really a good time to siege up right now. And he critically, he did not send, what he really needed to do was send down like 2 tanks and go put 2 tanks in siege mode at that bottom right base, so that while all that was happening, he could have killed off that 4th base in the bottom right. Although, actually, never mind. Jangbi got some forces ran in from the other side, so that means that they would have been able to take out those 2 tanks as well. But still, that probably would have been a good idea to send up at least 1 tank or 2 tanks down there, so that if Jangbi was distracted, he could have taken that out. Anyway, wow. Man, that was epic. That was absolutely epic. Those stasis is taking out the vast bulk of sKyHigh's army at just the right point, and here he comes in with some vultures. It looks like he is going to try and attack that bottom right base, putting some mines in the way. Observers are in place. He's going to be able to take out those mines, and probably going to be able to take out those mines and move in here before too much damage is done. But sKyHigh has a really good position. He can siege up on the bottom of that ramp. It's going to be hard for him to get down there. He's just kind of holding position there. Tank's not quite close enough to shell that base. Now he's going to move one in position. So this is actually a really nice little attack, and this is almost a desperation attack. He needs this to work. He needs this to take out one of Jangbi's bases right now, because otherwise he's just lost his whole army. It's going to be really hard for him to get another army big enough, especially with Jangbi at 5 bases right now. If he doesn't take out that 4th base in the bottom right, then sKyHigh is going to be just in too much trouble over the long run, I think, because Jangbi's going to be able to macro his forces up pretty quickly here. And he's only got a few tanks there. Coming in, mines are in the way. There's a bunch of vultures to support. Coming in with Dragoons from the other side as well. And that is going to clinch the victory in that bottom right location. Coming with Dragoons from the left, so the vultures could not be in both places at once to protect those tanks. The tanks are going to go down. That little push is going to go down. And now sKyHigh with just a few tanks left. He's trying to get the base going in the top left, trying to do a little bit of an attack against this base in the top middle, but I don't think it's going to be enough to really clinch the game here. Sorry, getting a little drink of water there. Starting to get a little parched. sKyHigh is really macroing like a fiend, though. He is getting a ton of units out. He's putting a ton of units out of his factories right now. And here we see, oh, he still has observers in the front of his base, though. Comsat goes off to kill the observers, actually. Well, it wasn't the purpose of it, because oh, that one Dragoon, oh my god, that one Dragoon sucks up so many mines. Hero Dragoon, Hero Zealot taking out the entire minefield, leaving these extra Dragoons free to just come in here and pelt those tanks if they can get in close enough. Just a few mines being planted, but no, this is the end. This is the end. This is the end of our story. This is the end. I don't even know what that's from, but I've occasionally think about that little ditty there. So now his 3rd base is in full breach. His army destroyed once again, and once he lost that huge army in his big push, that was basically his one chance at a push. And it was a good push. I mean, it's what he needed to do. He needed to make a push like that at that time in order to win the game, and he could have pulled it off. It was a really good decision because he could have easily pulled it off, but Jangbi with those clutch, his forces were just too clumped up, like I said before. those two those two stasis just made his army too little, and Jangbi was barely able to overtake his army. And then when the stasis came undone, take out the rest of his army. So wow, just epic game, a lot of back and forth. Both players playing really, really well. So we're seeing some great StarCraft today. This is really good stuff. I mean, sometimes I watch the Pro League and it's like, oh great, big build up, and oh, you got a bunch of Zealots and a bunch of Dragoons, and the other guy's a bunch of Vultures and a bunch of tanks, and they collide once, and then one player wins. Or, oh, look, it's a bunch of Lurkers and a bunch of Marines, and the Marines all die, and then the Zerg wins. I mean, those are still fun to watch, but, like, not as fun, especially when you see basically the same game played over and over again. So this has been some epic back and forth action. I mean, still, it's been pretty standard, your recalls and your harassment and what have you. But still, it's been a really, really good game. A lot of back and forth, especially when I like games that are really close, too. When you're just on the edge of your seat. Or in my case, my seat is on its edge since I'm still kind of leaning back in my chair at the moment. Anyway, so Jangbi's just going to clean this up. sKyHigh lost 2 of his bases, only barely mining at his natural expansion. Jangbi's mining at a couple bases. He's getting that 6 o'clock base up right now, so pretty much done with. Oh, recalling in the middle of the defense is beautifully done, just to seal the deal. Loses a lot of units, but it doesn't matter. GG coming from sKyHigh. Jangbi takes the game. Jangbi going up, bringing the series to 3-2, and I bet it's going to be Effort. There's not really anyone else they could send out besides Effort. I'm going to check to see. Yeah, CJ Effort. So we're going to see some PvZ next, which we haven't seen this series. Wait, no. We saw some Great versus Movie was PvZ, so we have seen it. But we're seeing a little bit of everything here, except TVT. So far, so good. And with Jangbi and Stork, all that's left for Khan, we're not going to, and well, only Effort, so we're not going to see any TVT. So really great games. Let's move on to Game 6, see if Jangbi can close it out, or if Effort can bring it to an ace match. GG, thanks for watching.